Now then, manners, it is me, Ted Hanky, or Ted Hanks, or whoever you want to call me, but I'm not the wrong one off the dart. It's Ted Talks, the Ted Hanky Podcast, and we're back again with a proper class episode, you know what I mean? So give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, share it, bear it, underwear it, you can just rhyme that, and just enjoy it, you dickheads. We're going to have a cracking show. Mala, he's back, it's Mal Attack, he's back. Where have you been?
Where have you been, Ted?
Oh.
Never mind me. I've been here. I've been here for 2 weeks waiting for you to come back.
For me, haven't you?
Well, I was like Bobby's grey dog, you know, that lad up in Glasgow where the dog just lies on the grave. Have you never seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, could be Edinburgh, like. I think
it's a sad story, that.
It is. It's like Genghis would do that, but he'd be on the rob.
He'd be fucking digging as well, wouldn't he? And he'd be going, what's in this grave?
Well, of course he would.
Might be some gold, cash for gold.
But I've been waiting here, Ted, because I heard, this is, right, here people, we are Teesside, we are proud.
You're proud.
And I'm not, right, I've got nothing against anybody. You know that, Ted, don't you?
I know that.
But Nasser, he told me you'd been on a gay cruise.
A what?
He said you'd been on a gay cruise.
No.
That's what he said you'd been.
I've been cruising. That sounds gay, doesn't it? Cruising. Yeah, you know, I've been working on a cruise ship for the past couple of weeks, Mala.
You weren't doing what though, Ted?
I wasn't a stowaway like that time you went on that Caribbean cruise and you stowed away in a potato sack.
Well, if it was a Caribbean cruise, it'd have been good, but it wasn't. No. It was a Whitby fisher trawler. I had to put me to work for 3 weeks,
that
man.
That was it, yeah. No, I got a rather lucrative offer to go and work on a cruise ship. I'm not naming the cruise liner because I haven't been paid yet. But yeah, to go and work and do some entertainment on there, adults only. I don't do the kids stuff. And so I had to fly out to Barbados, which was class. I spent the night in a hotel in Barbados, and I met some lovely people called Phil and Carol who saying that the scruffers wouldn't put, not Phil and Carol, the scruffers in the hotel made me pay for my own drinks, and Phil and Carol were all inclusive, and they said, come and join us, Ted, and they knocked me out loads of free drinks and that. So Phil's from the borough, Carol's from, I think she's from Stockton, yeah, they live in Stockton now, big shout out to them. They sorted me out with loads of class Caribbean beer, and I had a massive half pint of whiskey as well. I was off me tits.
Right, so Ted, what I've just gleaned from that story, and you know this, people, right, is that you prostituted yourself out for someone else's all-inclusive.
I did, yeah. I didn't have to pipe him off or anything.
Did you pipe her off?
No, but I had a very, very good time. And then the next morning, I got up with my mate Chris. He's a dickhead, and we had a beach on our doorstep, and we went and had a swim in the sea, and we seen some crabs and some lizards and some turtles, and then we got picked up and went to the ship. It was great. And
you're talking about the ship. You're not in Saltburn there, are you?
No, not the pub, the ship, the actual ship. I'm not going to name it because I haven't been paid yet. But yeah, so we got on the ship and we had all our meetings, and then we got back off and we had a little scoot around Barbados, which was nice.
Did you bring that bag back for us, Ted? There should have been a lad called Dodgy Kev who was going to meet you at the dock at Barbados with a big bag.
I bought that backy.
Good lad.
Big backy run
yeah,
back.
It's baggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was at sea for 4 days, and we stopped at a little island called Ponta Delgada, which is a tiny little island. It's owned by Portugal, but it's just in the middle of the North Atlantic, and there was fuck all to do there. So I just did a little bit of sightseeing, but I had a luxury hotel that night.
Like the Stockton of the Atlantic.
It was, yeah. Actually, I got approached off a baghead, right? But he was asking me for euros in Portuguese. Like, but he had a fucking budgie on his shoulder. A proper budgie on his shoulder. I was like, I want to give him some euros, but will he use it for drugs?
No, he's going to get birdseed with that, isn't he?
Will he? Will he fed the budgie? Because I gave him 50 cent. not the rapper. So I felt good about myself for that, yeah. But yeah, we had a cracking time on the ship, Melly. You get fed 4 times a day for free. You would have loved it. It'd be like, you know, when you went to that Chinese buffet and they kicked you out after 2 days.
Well, aye.
Yeah.
Listen, that sounds like you've been to Warm House, to be fair, but especially the lad with the budgie and giving people.
I haven't been in the Nick Barras.
No, that's class, Ted. That's class.
Yeah, it's good. I've got a very interesting story to tell you, though. Right, we were visited by a ghost.
Fuck off!
I swear down, people. I'm gonna tell this story. Right, I'm gonna put some spooky music over when I tell the story.
You ready? Hang on.
Here we go.
Oh, that is scary, that's it.
Yeah, right. So this is the story, right? Right, we were on the ship, right? Ooh, the storm was blowing. It was actually a rough sea that night. Just bang my chin off the microphone there. I'll continue. Yeah, we met there was these soul singers on the ship with us, right? They were really cool, and there was this like really cool dreadlocked guy called E.T., right? yeah, we made all the jokes, right? He's a Bob Marley tribute in Benidorm, you might know him. We were sat having some drinks. This girl came over, started talking to me, and he went to me, well, she's a bit big for me, like. That's what he said. I went, you're gonna get fired anyway. He went, oh, she's a bit big, you know, she's a bit big, bro. And I think.
Why does he sound like he's from like Birmingham or somewhere?
Yeah, he is.
Ted. Is he?
He is, yeah.
Get in.
He is. Yeah.
I know my chabs all over the country.
And anyway, that isn't the ghost story. We departed at the lifts, and we were all in the crew area, right? I'll put a little video on now of my cabin just so you can see how far under the water I was.
Fucking Nemo, aren't you, Ted?
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, we were just walking down, and we went past the morgue, right? Because every ship has a mortuary, believe it or not, right? And there'd been a couple of deaths on this cruise, right?
Were you that bad?
I'm not talking about us on stage. we died of death, yeah. No, but there'd been a couple of sad departs because they were very, very elderly. Even the flange was elderly, and yeah, we walked past the mortuary, and then when we turned round, it was this like young girl. She just appeared. And like out of nowhere, and I say young.
Did your tag start going off, Ted?
No, keep away. No, she went. You remember the film Poltergeist where it turns around, she goes, "They're here." She had a voice like that, and E.T. went, "You going to show us around where the crew bar is and that, right?" And she went, right, and she went. I'll show you. Follow me. And she started skipping down the corridors, right? It was proper eerie. We were all enchanted by her. So, like, we followed her, and she went, come in this way. Come through this corridor. And we went in. There was this tiny little crew bar where apparently all, like, the crew go and get pissed. There was no one in. She went, this is where we have drinks. Now follow me. And we followed her again. And we went back past the mortuary, and she went, there's bodies in there, you know. I've seen them. Like this. And we were like, what the fuck is going on here? But we couldn't stop following her. And I said, do you work on this ship? She went, I'm one of the entertainers. And they have like a group of, you know, like dancers and singers and stuff like that. And I'm like, I haven't seen her. And then like we were all talking, we checked and she'd gone. She fucking disappeared. And we were like, what has just happened? So we met the next day for lunch, and we were talking about it. And we had to go and do our sound test, and I found a sheet of paper, right, and it had all the pictures of all the dancers and the singers and stuff like that, and there she was, right, so she was one of them, and I thought, oh, what can I do here? So I took a photo of it on my phone, right, and then I edited it, and I put like a born and a death date underneath the name, like, right. And I went when we went to eat tea on the night, I went, mate, I found this, right? And then if you look closer, look, it's like a rest in peace tribute to her. And he's like, no way, bro, no way, she'd be dead, like that. And for like 3 days, he believed she was dead until I pointed her out in the dinner queue. But it was a very good experience, yes. I highly recommend doing the cruises if you can. You're not talented enough, though. You can't.
Well, I'm just going to say, right, it sounds class, Ted, but what sort of fucking cruise for elderly people as Little Dead Ghost Girls and Bob Marley tributes?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit weird.
He wasn't doing Bob Marley on this. He was in a soul band with two other guys, and they were singing like stuff like Saturday night at the movies. Who cares what picture we see?
All right, that makes sense, Ted.
So we're doing Motown and soul and
anyway, would you definitely the ghost?
Fucking right, would I?
Well, aye.
She had like really transparently white legs as well because she was wearing shorts when she was skipping in front, and that's all I was looking at.
You could have pulled the guys today, like done the old shot.
Imagine that. Ooh. Imagine waking up in the morning and like she's gone back to a dead state.
Well, no, that's just you being a necrophiliac and bumming dead people, right? But remember that time on is it Ghostbusters where like the like ghosts above his bed and he's flying, it goes down and sucks him off. It's on Ghostbusters. He's like,
got Slimer,
it's Venkman or something.
And Slimer sucks him
No,
off.
it's not Slimer. It's not Slimer. No, it's like Venkman or something. I've like think back, Ted, and he's like in bed, and he's like do do do, and it's like the montage, and this ghost floats above him, and like goes down and just starts, and he goes and he starts getting piped off. Have I been watching the right movie there? Right, everybody at home, right, get Ghostbusters 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, or. Yeah, it's in there, one of them, where he's getting piped off by some ghost.
I mean, if it's not been made, maybe it should be made. So, yeah, go for it.
Are you doing that, Ted?
What?
No, not November.
What, the Tash one?
No, it's a different thing. Right, people, isn't it? Right, this is what happens, Ted. You're not allowed to have a wank the whole of November.
Fuck off!
It's called No Nut November.
I can't go a day.
And it's for prostate cancer or something.
Yeah, but they say that. They say that by having a wank stops you getting prostate cancer.
Well, I'm never going to get it then, touch wood. But I mean, I must have about 3 or 4 days, so I'll be all right.
1 second, let me press a button. I've always wondered what that button does.
What's that, Ted?
I don't know. I think I should have pressed it earlier on. It might sound different now, the podcast. I don't know. Do you know what else happened on the cruise, Mala? On the flight over, right, I had to save someone's life.
Again?
Yeah.
What did you do this time,
right.
Ted?
So, where I was sat, right, it was an 8-hour flight to Barbados, right, from Heathrow. And where I was sat, there was an old bloke flying on his own, sat next to me across the aisle.
Was
like
he
that.
a ghost bloke?
No, he was alive at this point. And he kept like passing his water, Chris to open and stuff like that. And he kept just giving it, but he wasn't talking. He was a bit spaced out like that. And he went to the toilet and he came back. And when he came back, he just went, I'll do it, he went, and he started bubbling at the mouth and he fucking fell on the floor right. No one batted an eyelid. I was just looking around like that. So I got up and then me and this woman put him in the recovery position, right? And I started going, help! 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 And no one was responding, and it was like the film Airplane. And then I started going, is there a doctor on board? Do we have a doctor? Right? And then funny enough, in the aisle across us, there was this Indian man, and he went, I'm a doctor.
Gar racist, that is, Ted. Come on, you are being, that is pretty wrong there.
I'm not, he went,
that lad was not a doctor, he's just an Indian lad, and he went, you just went, it's you.
Hang on, I didn't even do his voice. I cut that out on purpose, so I was not purposely racist. He went, I'm a Dr. Armour, right?
I definitely didn't.
And he came round, and this bloke, well, I thought he was having an heart attack, but he was having a seizure. And we had to give him an adrenaline shot from the airplane med pack. We had to give him an adrenaline shot.
When you say we, who did
the
that?
doctor did that.
You make it sound like you were involved somehow, Ted.
But I put some gloves on like I was involved. You know, like I didn't want any germs on me, to be honest. And and we eventually came back round and we sat him back up, and then he started throwing up in a sick bag for a little bit. And they were going to divert the plane, but we were in the middle of nowhere, so we just ploughed on. So we could, if he'd have died, we'd have had to do another 2 hours with him lying next to me on the floor with a blanket over his head.
This sounds very much like the time I pulled a fat bird in Norfolk. I was in the middle of nowhere, so I just ploughed on and booked her, and and I had to put a sick bag over my head. So it's all pretty much the same sort of thing.
You still have flashbacks, don't you?
I do, I do. I really do.
But yeah, I hope he's all right. I mean, the Barbadian medical team got on. I mean, they took the time, I'll be honest.
Well, very chilled out in the Caribbean.
Well, everyone was having a joint. I'm not coming on, man. See, I didn't do the voice.
That was pretty good, Ted. I'd have been like...
I'm avoiding stereotypical voicing ever since the feedback I got off my Mexican voices I've been doing on previous episodes.
Well, they are shocking. But you know what I mean.
So, but yeah, saved his life. Got on a cruise, met a ghost, did some shows in front of lots of old people. One woman, we went up to her and went, "Do you like comedy?" She went, "No, I hate comedy." I went, "Well, what are you doing in the show then?" She went, "I came to see a show, and a show I shall see."
If you told her to watch this, then she'd love it.
Kick her in the fucking head, but she was right misery guts. But everyone else enjoyed it. I did the puppetry of the penis thing.
Oh, well, it's good little trick,
you know
that,
what I mean?
Mike. He's class.
But yeah, all in all, it was a good trip, and I'm doing some more next year.
Yeah, that's class, Ted.
Shall I see if I can bring you, Malice? Like my, like when knights used to have a squire to carry their armour.
I am not allowed to leave the territorial waters of the UK, unfortunately, Ted. So unless it's like to the Isle of Man and back, I'm pretty buggered. Yeah. I'm not allowed. And it's not because I don't have a passport or anything like that. It's because they say I'm so handsome, I'd be like a siren and I'd call sailors onto the rocks.
What, onto heroin?
Yeah, that's the one. Well, I have to sell something while I'm out there.
Oh. Yeah, so that's my tale of cruising. It's good.
It's class.
I don't know how much I'm going to leave in the podcast because I don't know how interesting it was or not until I watch it back.
It was pretty good,
was
to
it?
be
was
fair.
It good?
I think you dropped your voice a bit, but it was pretty good.
Did I? That's how when I get relaxed. It's my relaxed voice. I'm going to overdo my voice now. You know what I mean? What have you been up to anyway, Malawai? I've been skedoodling around the world and booking nanas.
Well, I've been... Well, I've actually, right... We are Teesside, we are proud, right?
We are proud.
And the place, the gaff at the minute is in the state, isn't it? Like, the gaff politically is in the state. There's all sorts of things kicking off. Like, Libor, them people, they've got in, and they're the same as them conservative biffs, which I don't like either, right? And it doesn't matter who's in, so let's not, like, make this a political statement, because they're all, do you know what I mean? Yous are wrong uns, a lot of yous, right? They've come in and, like, I tell you what, they're nicking money off old people, like saying, "Here, you can't have your 2 bar on, you're going to have 1 bar." Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They're doing that. I think that's what they're doing, right? They've told, like, kids that are, like, going to uni and that, we're going to put your money up. Do you know what I mean? Because we're going to get yous, right? They're telling people that are on the door like me, they're saying, "Here, you better look for a job," and I'm not having that. Do you know what I mean? No one tells me to look for a job. I mean, who wants to employ me? Are we, Ted?
I buy a backy sleeve, don't I, for doing this.
Well, And
sometimes, you know, at the start of the football season, I get you a couple of packs of paninis because you like the shinies, don't you?
Absolutely.
So, but that's enough, isn't it? It's not a wage you declare.
No, well, this is the thing, right? These people are ruining the country, right? They are absolutely ruining it, right? People are whinging about asylum seekers, but I'm telling you now, there's some decent flange coming over. I've seen it. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I had a Romanian cleaner, and I was so tempted to ask her out.
Honestly, there's some decent flange about there. And we aren't even thinking about this. Look at some of the British munters we have. I think that's the people who don't want the refugees to be here. It's them munters, because they're used to being out on a Saturday night, right?
Yeah. Don't want to get out flanged.
Then they want to get out flanged. But girls, let me tell you, calm yourselves down, because there's always some Moroccan lad who's like quite handsome and 21 that wants to go out with Tina, who's 21 stone from Dormanstown. Do you know what I mean? You always see them lads, don't you? They're holding hands with them on the bus. Like, you know, like the monkey in the climb.
I'm racist, Mala.
No, and they're always holding hands with them, and they're like proper loved up, and they're like, "Yeah, I love you, sweetheart." Mum, and they're like the proper wrong-uns, these girls.
You did the voice as well.
Well, that's the voice, man. I can't
Next
help
you'll be
but
saying you own a pizza shop or a Turkish barber's.
possibly a car cleaning business, maybe. Who knows?
Whatever you do, you're very welcome in this
Really
country.
welcome, exactly. I'm not
As long as you're
knocking
not
the
raping,
lads.
pillaging,
Listen,
stealing.
they're doing us a favour by taking them girls. Do you know what I mean? Someone there needs some loving.
I never thought of it like that,
I'd
yeah.
only be banging them on a night out, and I don't need that in my life. Do you know what I mean? Ted, I don't.
That's a really good point. Yeah, these guys are coming over here with no standards whatsoever.
They're taking a hit.
They're taking the hit for the team because they actually like the big horrible grotty munters.
Well, listen, it guaranteed to stay if you can babby them up.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Well,
Benefits babbies.
benefits, but exactly, right? And them lasses, right, away. Come on, girls. You are loving it. You are loving it because some of these lads are handsome lads, aren't
Yeah.
they?
They've got, like, some of them have got really handsome bodies from, like, grafting in farms and stuff like that.
That was a good edit, that time. And right, and if they're working in the car wash, right, girls, you know, you just go there and you get your Ford Fiesta done for free, don't you? And, like, the squeeze, like, when it's summer, they squeeze the water over them.
And then you can say things like, hey, yeah, why don't you come back, man, and have a fiddle in my glove box?
And, they say it's more like...
Why don't you open up my boot and stick something in it?
It's more like it's like one of them wrong cars that has the boot at the front door, because then they get in the vag. Do you know what I mean? Rather than the boot in the back. You know, like one of them... Do you know what I'm talking about? Them cars that have the boot in the front.
An electric car?
Well, I don't think they're that... Well,
one of them old cars?
Yeah, one of the old cars, man.
I don't know
and they have a
cars.
boot in the front. But but this is what I mean, right? And no one's pointing this out. So these lads and lasses are coming over, however they get over here, right? But let me tell you now, I've heard some complaints about them, Ted.
Well, before you tell me the complaints, our Julie goes over there to get them.
Which is...
She rackets them back. She brings them back. She's one of them, yeah, but it's not for, like, money. It's just so she can get them doing odd jobs and motting her out and stuff.
That's people trafficking. That's quite a serious crime, if anyone's heard. But, right, I heard, right, these said, like, we've got lads, NASA, right, who's a good lad, isn't he? Right? He told us that, like, you know, the first crew of asylum seekers that come over...
Vikings.
Right? Like, no... The first lads that come over, they're not happy. They are not happy because they were the first lads over, right? And how did them lads get over here? They grafted, that's what they did, right? They didn't just 20 of them jump in a boat and dash over. Oh no, you had one lad gripping onto a glove box, clipping onto an exhaust pipe of a truck for like 20 miles as he snicked over the ferry. That's how them lads got over. Proper grafters, old school. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Old school asylum seekers, not just all like doing some sort of wrong P&O ferries job where they're all just jump on a big boat and get over and go,
Just got to say that wasn't the brand I was on, by the way, so don't associate them.
But they didn't do that, right? What they did is they're more like James Bonded into the country, and I'm happy with that. So if you were here from a James Bond manoeuvre, well, welcome to Teesside.
With your lovely, tight, curly, glossy hair and masculine bodies, taking our dogs over here, our awful girls, doing us a service. You are very welcome.
They don't even know they're born, these new asylum seekers, man. They never had to graft like the other ones.
No.
And it's given me a new respect for the other ones as well. Like the original lot of asylum seekers, when they did just like jump in containers and stuff.
Yeah.
And
as long as they're safe and as long as they're earning, then they're very welcome. But if they're up to trouble, I'll give them a bat. Simple as that.
They have to bring their own bats, I've been told. I've got it on good authority. It's quite a politically charged episode, this,
It is,
Ted.
yeah. I hope we don't get in any trouble.
Well, who off Labour or the Conservatives? I don't think so. Or like whichever other political party, because you're all wrong-uns. And I tell you what, I'll fight yous all, right? I'm telling you now, like if I take this off, yous are going to get it, Malice style. I've had enough of yous.
He's getting his tits out now, Mala. He means
Had
business.
enough.
He does, yeah. I always say, Mala, never trust anyone named after the car. So,
Got Keir Starmer?
Yeah,
well,
Keir Starmer, yeah.
Do you know what? I felt like I was Hulk Hogan then.
Did
you know
ya?
when he ripped his thing open?
Imagine, it wouldn't have been the same if Hulk Hogan had a zip down the front of his vest, though, would it?
That's
right, brother! Hulkamania's coming to town! It takes you off slowly.
Listen, right? we all want to save the world, and think about how many perfectly good T-shirt that lad ruined. If he had a zip, it could have been reusable.
Think about how many perfectly good vaginas he ruined. I mean, he was tapping his 9-inch todger around everyone back then.
He has an absolute weapon on him as well. I've seen the video.
And if you look, right, it's incredibly orange, and he only grows blonde pubes around the sides.
I mean, listen, what bird wouldn't want to get bucked off Hulk Hogan, though?
That's right, brother. Why should you call him a bird? Brother, I should probably tell him. That's right, brother. Hulkamania's coming to town. I'm going to stick my 9-inch python in you. Yeah.
Well, apparently...
That's what he does.
Well, apparently he had a bit with Brutus at Barber Beefcake. You know, they did a bit of hanging and banging.
Bummed him?
Well, apparently so. But, I mean, listen...
Was it his perm? It could be quite confusing.
Listen. Hulk is a big lad, and if Hulk wants to, he's going to do what he wants for you, isn't he? You're not getting away from Hogan.
Maybe not so much now. He's an old man. Do you know what I mean?
He's still massive, I think.
I bet his legs aren't strong, though. You know what I mean? I've tripped a couple of benches up in my time, innit? I think I'd do a leg sweep on him.
Was he on the cruise?
A few people looked like him, yeah. I mean... I didn't like that phase he went through where he dyed his beard black but left his tash yellow.
Oh, I like that. That was his NWO. Yeah, that was class.
I didn't like that. I know it was copyright reasons and stuff like that, but yeah.
He was brilliant. He's one of the best. But yeah, well, how did we get on?
I don't know.
It was the zip. It was the zip. It was the zip. See, it's always the zip that makes Hulk Hogan come Hulk Hogan, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, can I just do a little advert?
Go on then, yeah. Which you can do with that camera there?
This camera here.
Yeah,
is that all right?
Yeah.
Right, people, it's coming close to Christmas, and remember, some people don't have enough money to even have a couple of cans on a night. So please, what I'm urging you to do in the Thornaby region or district
Teesside
or parish is just leave a couple of cans on your doorstep of a night, and remember, the people like Mala that do the community a good service by drinking all of your binges that you stick outside your house.
He will. If you're having a night where maybe you've nodded off in front of an incredibly interesting box set and you wake up and half your can is gone and the rest is warm and you don't want to finish it, don't pour it away. Just leave it on the doorstep and the can man Mala will come round and he'll collect them and he'll finish off your dregs and he'll also recycle your tins as well.
This is exactly it. Yeah. And it gets colder when you leave it outside. Yeah. And don't worry, because if you only have a little bit, I put them all together in what's known as pure soup.
Yeah.
And I get it all down.
Amalgamation soup.
Amalgamation Mala soup.
Amalgamation soup.
I think NASA's going to start stocking that, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's class.
Good product, that, yeah. And the same applies for our feet and kebabs as well. And the same applies with, if you can't bother booking your last, ring me.
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Let's go, brother. Well, it's. I think it's coming to the end of the. Oh, you got.
I've got to get off.
Well, where are you going?
Do you know when I unzip my top there?
Yeah.
Right, Broadback got excited. She only wants me back. Apparently, them lads didn't know that there was other women. You know, she had a lot of the asylum lads around the house.
Yep.
They didn't know that there was a lot of women that were free in Dormanstown. So they've all left her. She's on her own now. She's seen the product. She's asked me what the pH stats are, so I better get round there and sort her out. Yeah, I'm going to flatten her like an ironing board. It's going to be class. Right, see you later, everyone. See you later, Ted.
Mala there, he's off to do an incredibly high top turnbuckle leg drop on Broadback's neck with his nutsack, which it's frightening. Oh, just thinking about this making me feel a bit sick, to be honest. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's show, and thank you very much for your patience over the past few weeks as I've been cruising. It's getting close to Christmas. I just want to point out that T-shirts are back in stock, so if you want a nice made in, straight out of Thornaby. I've got straight out of Stockton. I've got straight out of Teesside, and I've got straight out of Middlesbrough T-shirt. There's also mugs as well with the same design on as well, proper class, and loads of other stuff as well. What you can choose for Christmas presents as T-shirt designs, funny mugs, even Christmas cards with my face on and some Doyle called Mikey D as well. He's got a range out as well. You can see it all on tedhankyt-shirts.com. Check them out. Great presents. Get them ordered early so you get them in time for Christmas, and the cheapest chips as well. And it helps me be able to put me lecky key in at the shop and get some money on it so I'm not cold for the winter. Yeah. So what have I got coming up for you? We've got some cracking events coming up at the end of November and into December as well. So on Saturday, November the 30th, we have got the Comedy and Curry Night at Chapel in Middlesbrough. Always a great night. Tickets are £15. Go online to jokepit.com, get some of them. I might be there. I might not. I am there. And, that's always a beauty as well. Then on, what else have we got? December the 1st, we've got the Comedy Night at the Warehouse in Stockton, down at the Teesside Industrial Estate. Not Teesside Industrial Estate, Preston Farm Industrial Estate. Could have sent you the wrong place there, like a divvy. Next to Macro and Soccer Sensations. It's proper class food. And we've got Angelos Epithemiou from Shooting Stars closing the show. I'll be honest, there's not many tickets left. So if you're watching this, book them straight away or you're going to miss out. All right, so that's Friday, December the 1st. Then we've got Wednesday, December the 11th. We've got the quiz night at the Warehouse as well, which I'm hosting as well. So it's going to be proper class, prizes to be won, hairs on your bum and all that. So get tickets for that. It's only a £5 at the enter per person. You get a charcuterie, whatever the fuck that is, and you win some prizes as well. It's great fun. And then on December the 15th, you've got my other comedy night, Ted's Sanctuary Laughs at the new Sanctuary Sports Bar, which is next to Chapel in Middlesbrough. And I introduce a load of new acts on the stage and we have a bit of a crack on that. Tickets are only £6. It's a Sunday night. It's going to be proper class. Get involved. And one last final one is New Year's Eve. There's an 80s themed New Year's Eve party at the Warehouse. It's going to be proper class. You get fed, you get entertained by the wonderful Club Visage, who are renowned 80s entertainers, two very handsome men as well. You might recognise them from other places. They are buck as fuck. So get your tickets for that as well. I can't remember what they cost, but whatever it is, it's fucking worth it. So have a great week. Keep yourself warm, keep yourself safe, and as per usual, up the borough and believe, yeah.